This video is a comical look at the absurd explanations provided by the city finance director Path, and the mayor to explain the legality of his recently exposed practice of cashing in 100% of his vacation days despite admitting he took time off. While this video may provide you with a laugh, the goal is to get you asking how the Ohio Auditor's Office and the county prosecutor have not taken any action and accepted these explanations without scrutiny.
Thank you for inviting me and our finance director Mr. Paff to your office to discuss how great of a job we do at plowing the snow off the streets in Beechwood.
This should make for a very compelling story for your readers.
I have a small confession to make. That is not the story we are looking into. We had to tell you that to get you in here as you have been unwilling to discuss on the record your practice of cashing in all of your vacation days as unused for almost a decade.
That is an underhanded dirty trick. Ever since the damn media exposed this to the public, I have made sure not to talk about this on the record.
How honorable. Your only on-the-record comment about this issue is in your interview with the Cleveland Jewish News. When asked about this practice, the only explanation you gave was that you and your wife don't like to travel.
That's right. We don't like to travel. Can we move on now and talk about snow removal?
No. From 2005 until May of 2013, you never used a single hour of your allotted vacation days. You cashed in 100% of them as unused in order to get an extra $17K a year.
Like the mayor said, he and his wife don't like to travel. He already addressed this. Please move on. As finance director, I can tell you that the mayor is afforded the same benefits and perks as any other full-time employee, and they are allowed to cash in unused vacation days.
Would any other full-time employee have to use vacation days to visit family in California?
Yes.
What about if they extended a business trip to spend an extra day or two with their spouse?
Yes.
What about to visit a sick friend or attend a non-family member's funeral? Wouldn't other full-time employees have to use a vacation day to do so?
Yes.
Would they have to use a vacation day if they wanted to attend a political event during work hours?
Yes.
If they wanted to observe a Jewish holiday during city hall hours, could they do so without using one of their vacation days?
No. They would have to use a vacation day.
This is getting a little repetitive. Can we just talk about how good of a job we do with snow removal?
One more question. If any other full-time city employee wanted to take the afternoon off on a nice sunny afternoon to ride their motorcycle, would they have to use a vacation day?
Yes.
If the mayor is afforded the same benefits and perks as all other full-time city employees, wouldn't he have to follow the same rules regarding these benefits?
Don't answer that. I am the mayor and I decide what rules I follow.
I have been instructed not to answer that. If you want to become the highest paid finance director in the area, you only say whatever your boss tells you to say.
Let me help you out. I filed a public records request to see the rationale provided by the city to the Ohio Auditor's Office to explain this practice. In these public records requests, you admitted that the mayor had taken time off during the years he cashed in all of his vacation days as unused. However, while every other full-time employee would have to use a vacation day for all the instances I previously provided, you wrote that the mayor could take time off without using a vacation day because over the course of the year he worked more than 2,080 hours. Am I correct that you wrote this?
You are correct, but we were forced to provide some excuse to the auditor's office and we had to come up with something. They are not a smart bunch, so we figured that would fly.
How do you know the mayor worked more than 2,080 hours each year from 2005 through 2012? On numerous occasions the mayor stated that he has never punched a time clock and he nor anyone else has ever tracked or documented the hours he has worked.
Let's put an end to this right now. My buddies on city council don't require me to punch a time clock or demand I document my work hours.
Mr. Mayor, that is fine that city council doesn't require you to track your work hours. In fact, if you didn't get an extra $17,000 a year for almost a decade by cashing in 100% of all your vacation days as unused, but then admitted you took time off during that period. To explain this, Mr. Path wrote that you didn't need to use a vacation day when you took time off, Because you work more than 2,080 hours a year, no one would care that you didn't track or document your work hours. However, since that is the excuse provided by the city to explain the legality of this practice from which you received an extra $17,000 a year for almost a decade, don't you think it is reasonable that people will want some sort of proof or documentation that you worked this many hours?
We did provide proof, but I don't want to tell you what that proof is.
Good idea, Mr. Mayor. Let's keep that secret, as I can't believe the auditor's office accepted the proof we provided.
I have it right here as it was included in the public records request. It seems the only proof provided to support that you worked 2,080 hours in all these years was the following statement written by Mr. Paff. Quote, "While I may not know where the mayor is on an hourly or daily basis, as the finance director, both I and the audit director and/or personnel coordinator would know if the mayor were out of the office for any extended period of time." Unquote. Further on in your email you wrote, quote, "Using the baseline of 2,080 hours as full-time service for the year, I am confident that the hours worked by the mayor on an annual basis would far exceed that threshold." Unquote. Did you write that, Mr. Paff?
Yes, I did.
If that isn't proof, I don't know what is. I feel vindicated.
Mr. Paff, is your office in a location where you see the mayor enter and exit City Hall?
No. The mayor parks his car in the garage and takes the private elevator up to his office. The only people who would see the mayor's comings and goings are his two assistants. As the mayor's office area is isolated from the rest of City Hall, I think my statement was clear when I admitted that I don't know where the mayor is on an hourly or daily basis.
So let me make sure I understand what you are saying. You don't see when the mayor comes or goes from City Hall? His office is isolated in such a way that if you walked past it, you couldn't tell if he was there, and you admit you don't know where the mayor is on an hourly or daily basis? Is this correct?
Yes.
Then how can you make the claim that you are confident that from 2005 to 2012, in every one of those years the mayor worked more than 2,080 hours?
I don't have an answer for that.
When the auditor's office was investigating this, why did you write them an email claiming that you were confident that his work hours far exceeded 2,080 hours a year?
To be honest, outside of myself and one other person in the finance department, very few people knew about the extent of this practice. In fact, while the law director and a few of the council members who have been around for a while might have known that he was allowed to cash in unused vacation hours, I don't think any of them knew he cashed in 100% of them for almost a decade to get an extra $17,000 a year. When the media exposed this, it caught us off guard. We had to come up with something, as many people were aware of instances where he took time off in these years.
Why weren't you honest with the auditor's office and tell them that your office was not in a physical location to have an accurate account of the mayor's work hours?
I wasn't going to roll on you, Paff, but since you sold me up the river, I have no choice. The reason he provided that bogus statement to the auditor's office was he knew he was just as guilty as I was, or at the very least, complicit.
I don't understand.
Let me break it down for you. Most of my indiscretions only require counsel or the law director to play dumb or look the other way. In this instance, I needed someone to enter in this extra $17,000 into the payroll system in the last payroll period of every year. Mr. Paff was more than willing to do this, as he gets treated very well around here. He is the highest paid finance director in the area, and I even let him work for other suburbs on the side as their finance directors for extra cash. Of course he gave that line of crap statement to the auditor's office because he knew if I went down for this he would as well, because he was the one who processed it. By the way, this isn't the first time Paff lied and covered for me.
What are you referring to? Can you be more specific?
In January of 2013, the city of Aurora was conducting a survey on mayors' salaries as they were considering giving their mayor a raise. Keep in mind, until May of 2013, when the media exposed my salary, it was a well-kept secret very few people were aware of. We liked it that way because it would have been embarrassing if people knew that I was the highest paid elected official in Ohio.
How did you keep that information away from the public?
My buddies on council made sure that all discussions about my salary and raises were conducted in closed executive sessions. So when the clerk of council and Aurora called the finance department for their survey on mayor's salary, they were told I only made $95,000. If you don't believe me, call up Aurora and ask them. They were pretty shocked when a couple months later the plain dealer exposed that I made over $200K, until Paff just rolled on me. He has been great at covering my ass. It is smart of him. He has it good and knows if he scratches my back, I will scratch his. He has known that guy Lally in the auditor's office for a long time and they are friends. It is a joke that they swallow pretty much whatever we tell them without much scrutiny. If you think this is bad, wait until you find out about the tall tale they accepted when they were looking into how I pocket all the wedding fee money.
This is kind of shocking. The only person to support the claim that you work more than 2,080 hours a year was the finance director, who isn't physically in a location to know when you are in City Hall, admits he doesn't know where you are on an hourly or daily basis, and if this fraud was exposed, his active participation would uncover his own guilt, and the auditor's office accepted his statement without any scrutiny.
Yep. I was even shocked we got out of this one.
Good thing the auditor's office allows the same guy to investigate all fraud charges against us. I don't know if all of that are that gullible or we just got lucky.
Now that I have all this information surrounding this issue, I am going to call the auditor's office to get comments from them.